But just hold on, you're gonna be glad. You will be amazing. Just hold on, you're gonna be glad. You will be amazing. Yeah. Just hold on, you're gonna be glad. You will be amazing. Just hold on, you're gonna be glad. You will be amazing. Howdy, music lovers. Tom from Blakgraz here. Welcome to another episode of Guitar and Gab. Chop, 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 chop. And there's our road manager asking to play Perfect Timing. We're going to discuss the new Supreme Court ruling that affects copywriting for infringements online. Let's get to it. Howdy, music lovers. Tom from Blakgraz here. Welcome to another episode. Before I get started, I want to say a shout out to Highway 71. You can't really see what that logo you got. Look at the back shirt. In Spicewood, Texas, our home state, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Blakgraz. Born and raised in Blakgraz, that is. Born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. In fact, Blakgraz came to life really in San Antonio, Texas. So also I want to give a shout out to Vaughn Shannon from Custom Build Guitars. This is Sandy. Now the last time we saw Vaughn, right before we headed out on the road again for this year, 2026, I learned something new about Sandy that I did not know before. And that is that this body shape is unique to Custom Build Guitars. I did not know that. And that actually makes her very special as a kind of a one-of-a-kind. And she's obviously a custom build, so it's one of a kind anyway, but I mean in terms of guitars around the world. Sort of like the Fender Strat. Everybody knows what a Strat looks like. Everybody knows what a Les Paul looks like. Well, here's the custom build. The Vaughn Shannon Custom Build Wolf is what it's called. And I really like her a lot. In fact, I got a really nice compliment in Lexington, South Carolina this last time we were there. I forget if it was Pick that said it or if it was Ray that said it, but somebody specifically was talking to me and said, oh, I noticed when you picked up that guitar the tone just jumped out. She was really bright and really present. And this is the guitar that I look for on the song Blaine and Jen in particular. So it was no surprise to me because I know how good she sounds and how much I enjoy playing her. But it was nice to hear it from another musician in Lexington, South Carolina, who noticed the difference when I jumped on Sandy. Now don't get me wrong, every one of those custom build guitars has its own unique signature and has a deep impact on what I do on stage and my writing. But I am extremely proud to know that this is a specific style that is unique to Custom Build. So there you go. So make sure you check them out at thintheherdguitars.com. So today we learned that there has been a Supreme Court ruling that takes responsibility off of the platforms that support videos, basically.
Or any kind of use of music or
copyright
visual or audio copyright materials.
Yeah, anything audio, because they always have to do it generally. They have to speak in terms of a broader impact. But the video that we saw specifically talked about the idea of violation strikes, copyright violation strikes that occur on YouTube in particular. Now that doesn't mean there aren't other platforms that do the same thing, but the focus on this video was, well, what's going to happen with YouTube? What could it look like? So the Supreme Court ruled basically in the case, and I forget the name of the case, probably should look that up. But
I could grab it and screenshot
put it in the description or something. Basically, it says that YouTube or a platform like YouTube can't be held liable for someone else infringing on copyrights. And that's an interesting twist, because the only reason that YouTube had the copyright infringement process,
three strikes
and you're out, was because of a regulation that says they are liable. So now if they don't have to do that, they can reallocate all of that focus and all of that time and energy, instead of trying to protect themselves from litigation for copyright strikes, to actually just, providing a platform that people put material in. Now, that doesn't mean that the strike system will go away, or there won't be any kind of infringement enforcement. What it means is a lot of folks who make their living off of platforms like YouTube won't be in danger of so immediately and over frivolous claims losing everything, their life's work, their career's work. People have been doing it for a decade or two for some folks, building their pages and building their channels and providing really good content. And there are a lot of scammers out there, I'm telling you. I know personally, the first time I tried to put music up on YouTube directly without going through a distribution company like I do now, I had 3 songs, the monetization of 3 songs that were mine, that I have copyrights to, right, and publishing rights to, given to YouTube by YouTube to a scammer who said that, well, they say you stole their song, and so we're just going to give them that money.
There were no checks or balances.
No, wait a minute. They didn't even allow for me to provide proof of copyright, proof of publishing, proof of recording. I mean, I had all the receipts, right? Instead, what they did is just said, well, too bad, they claimed it. And so, and the funny thing was, the song that was in question was entitled Sweet Love. It was an acoustic song. And they claimed my song, Deux Amours, which is a French heavy metal tune, all in French. Deux Amours does mean sweet love. But they claimed that I stole their song, which sounded nothing like it and had no English in it at all, in my song at all. It was all in French. And 2 other tunes that they claimed this Sweet Love song I supposedly stole from them that didn't sound anything like the songs. So basically what I did is I just took all the music off that channel. I took everything down. So then I went through DistroKid, and now all the songs are up on YouTube and other platforms through DistroKid, and now they watchdog for me, because if somebody violates one of my songs now through those platforms, well, DistroKid doesn't get their cut now, do they? So their teams are now watching out for my songs. So I have been part of the challenge of getting scammed online and on the line concerning copyrights. So hearing that, but I've also been on the front line of getting flagged. For instance, Facebook was flagging me every time we put up a song.
Your own content, without me tagging the song, but it was just
own songs and live clips of me performing my own songs. They would flag them and say, DistroKid has claimed that you're violating their copyright, their monetization, and they're taking the monetization. So I would have to send them all of the internal information, the ISRC, and the date of publish, and all of the information and the tracking number inside for each song inside my DistroKid account. I'd send it to Facebook, and then somebody at DistroKid would review it, and they'd say, oh, okay, he's legitimate. This is the original artist. We won't lay claim on this particular channel.
And that's the difference too. There's somebody internally, I guess, at DistroKid that was confirming, whereas with YouTube, it's just bots and automated. There's no individual filtering through any kind of a claim. They just immediately, okay, there was a claim, so we're going to award it to them because we don't want to get in trouble.
We don't want to get sued. Now, that was one of the things that this video talked about today, was that one of the things they might do is start to have a better review process that checks to see if also it's, what is it called, free use or fair use. Fair use, which is basically in newscasts or critical reviews, educational purposes.
Because Beato's been getting hit fairly recently.
Beato has been nailed all the time, every day, because he's got famous people coming in and playing their songs, and he's friends with them, and they own the songs, and he's doing a review or a news review of or interview of, and so they play part of the song as an example, and he gets flagged. It's like, that's fair use. But see, that's the thing. You got these labels, you got scammers, you got legitimate owners who are just flagging everything because they know the system takes the money away from whoever the content creator is who is using it for fair use with no trial, no evidence. They don't, it's just, they just automatically do it because it's a new revenue stream for them. But this new Supreme Court ruling actually could potentially put the kibosh on that, which would be very nice because, for instance, with the Eagles, I mean, they go after everybody. Their attorneys are ruthless. They're infamous for just shutting down little kids learning on piano. Look, mommy, I can play the beginning of an Eagles tune. Flagged, we want that money. I mean, how desperate for dollars can you be, right? Anyway, the point is, this Supreme Court ruling could change that because now YouTube could, they have not yet, could potentially set up a review system that double checks every claim, copyright infringement claim that comes in to make sure it's not claiming against a fair use situation. How was it used in the video? Now, if they don't have the staff to do it, well, they've got AI. They can check, and if the AI detects that it's an interview, a critical review, or news, then that's fair use, and your claim is not legitimate. That could stop people from losing their channels so quickly. Now, the other thing too is it will immediately improve the quality of most videos on YouTube if they do something like that, simply because everybody and their brother is scared to death to actually have anything in their videos that could get flagged. You don't want, so they'll put, so I'm talking about this song by Michael Jackson. It's called Beep, but I can't say the name really because I'll get flagged. Or I can't play the song, I can only talk about it. It talks about this young girl named Billy Beep, and he danced in white socks with one white glove on stage to this really popular song back in the 80s. That's the review. That's the fair use nowadays. So anyway, I think it could be a really good step in the right direction for the content creators, including myself, who are honestly trying to do news, a critical review, or update of, or some kind of interview about. Because every time someone is talking about Blakgraz, it's doing me a favor. Every time someone is trying to use one of my songs in a video, it's doing me a favor. Because what's really most important to me, Blakgraz, is how many people come to a show, how many people buy tickets, how many people buy merch, how many people buy CDs, right? The physical, tangible, real things. The downloads, yeah, if you're downloading from my site, then yes, please. But if you're downloading from Apple or Spotify or you're just streaming, you're not doing me really any favors because the percentage is so low. You have to have millions and millions of streams on Spotify just to make minimum wage. That wasn't my purpose. My purpose of making this music was to impact people's lives, to help them feel a little bit better each day after each show. And that means that I've got to go out and reach them. I've got to meet them in person. I've got to look them in the face when I'm playing and see which songs reach them, affect their heart rate, that get to them, mean something to them. And you can't do that through a screen. And sure, downloads are helpful. You can see numbers, but that's not the same as watching a song impact somebody to where they can't help themselves and they just start grooving in their seat or jamming, or they stand up and they have to dance, right? That's what it's really all about for me. I don't know about everybody else. I mean, there's lots of guys that make lots of money just making drum beats all day long or making little loops of keyboards and stuff like that, but that's not enough for me. I want to see people having fun. I want to go out in and shape air and push it out into the world and watch it just light people up like light bulbs. It's just such a magical thing to see that happen with an audience. Even CD sales, I mean, those are important because financially it helps keep us going, right? But more important than anything, I would love to be driving down the road one day, come to a stoplight and hear somebody playing a Blakgraz tune in their car on a CD. That would be super cool. That would be a dream come true. Oh my gosh, they're playing our stuff right in the car next door. Holy cow, do I know them? Did I meet them at a show? I'd be looking to see who's driving. That would be cool. So, you know, another thing to keep in mind too, you know, with this, I know that part of this comes from all of the AI stuff that's happening, right? A lot of AI people are abusing AI, and they're stealing other people's identities and their sounds and their voice sounds and their writing styles. So this could be also really helpful with that, because they can't claim unless they have a legitimate claim. And if you're an artist and you make a legitimate claim and you show the receipts, the registrations and the copyrights and when you recorded it and the publishing and all that stuff, then those other AI people who are stealing, who can't show that stuff, are going to be in big trouble, because lawsuits, boy, attorneys just love that stuff. They love it. They salivate at the mouth. How do you know when a courtroom is level? The judges and attorneys drool from both sides of their mouth.
How do we know Rufus is level? When we offer a treat to Rascal, there's drool coming out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. There's a Supreme Court ruling. We'll have either an image or just a link or name of the Supreme Court ruling down in the description below. It was a really good video. The fellow did a really great job, and I just wanted to comment on that, and that I think it's positive. I think it's positive, especially because we, as an artist, we need people talking about what we're doing. As any artist, you need people conversing and sharing and talking
PR.
about what we're doing. Huh?
PR. PR. Any PR. Any kind of PR is beneficial. Public relations. It's marketing, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So the idea of restricting someone from being able to, you know, criticize Blakgraz, or to do a review on Blakgraz, or to interview us and be able to have the song play during the interview, or to do some kind of news on something we're doing, that is not good as far as I'm concerned. So if that's changing and it becomes something that YouTube actually adopts because of this Supreme Court ruling, I see that as a really big win. I think that's going to help with people not just creating content but helping the artists themselves become better known. Like you're trying to become a household name, right? So that people will come to your shows and buy your songs and buy your merch and keep your project afloat. What better way to do that than have millions and millions of content creators who can finally use your songs and not get strikes and then have their channel shut down and be scared to death of losing their livelihood all the time. So there you go. Oh, last thing on AI too. Everybody's moving away from AI. Didn't I say that was what was going to happen? Right? In the 80s, Morris Massey put out that video series, You Are What You Were When, and he always talked about that when they tried to introduce more technology into the workplace, the workers, the employees, wanted more nature in the workplace. It's the same in life. The more technology you introduce to men and women on this planet, the more they want to connect with nature. Sure, it's convenient. Sure, it helps with certain things. But the more it tries to become that dystopian or utopian version of everything technological with chips in your head and all that stuff, the more people are like, no, I'm going to go out in the woods and go hiking right now.
Well, remember we were talking about the other video. I don't know if I have access to it or remember where it was. Companies who are engaging the AI thing to boost their stock numbers and all of that were engaging in getting the AI, like
for the bottom line.
For their bottom line. And now they're getting rid of the AI and hiring people back, like that includes, and we see it, and every time we go into a store, there's barely any of the self-checkout lines going on now too.
Thank God, I hated those things. Yeah, we know somebody who does consulting for big luxury global businesses. And she said most of the staff are new, and they are not using AI in their meetings. They thought it was great at first, and then the attorneys heard about it, and they're like, wait a minute, your confidential meetings are going into an AI data set? No, you cannot do that.
You don't know where it's going.
You don't know where it goes after that. You don't know who has access to that. No more AI, so they're not adopting it there. Now these companies that Martha's talking about, they went and boosted their bottom line by getting rid of employees and using AI instead, and that seems to have hurt them in one way or another. So now they're bringing the employees back and getting rid of AI. Isn't that interesting how men and women want to buy and have exchanges with other men and women? I'm not a fan of calling up some AI system that says, please choose from these 3 options. Yeah, but that's not why I'm calling. Please choose from these 3 options. That's not why I'm calling. I don't comprehend what you're requesting, because you're an AI system and not a man or woman that could actually direct me to the right department.
And yeah. It's not even AI.
It doesn't.
It's just software.
Yeah, it's not real AI. It's just software. Really, really sophisticated software. So there you go. That's what's going on in the copyright world, which is kind of interesting and exciting potentially. Let's see what everybody does with it. And I mean everybody, because it's not just YouTube. It's going to be Rumble. It's going to be Facebook. It's going to be Instagram. It's going to be TikTok. It's going to be everybody. So let's see how it goes. And let's see how it impacts the distribution companies like CD Baby, DistroKid, and all of the other ones, TuneCore, all those guys, right? The big players. See what they do with it. All right, y'all, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe. Also, make sure you check out the links down below. We have CDs for sale and merch for sale. Come to a live show. Check out our emotional support beverage koozies with Blakgraz AI nanotechnology in them. a $1 million value for $5. And we have 4 handmade Blakgraz t-shirts left, and then that's going to be it. So make sure you grab them while you can. But even better, come to a show, look me in the eye, and shake my hand. I'm eager to meet you, and thank you for all the support. All right, y'all. See you next time. Baby.
Hello. It's not hot anymore. I want to play.
I want to play now. Now that you're up front filming.